Hey there, everybody. Bradley Sven here. We got the squad here today. We got Pika in the back. What up, Pete? He's a good boy, that guy. And we got our good buddy, Mr. Peach. Alright, so now that we're squatted up, let's get down in the nitty gritty. We got some info on the accounts to go on to 010 and 014, as well as the update on my friend's account that survived Community Day. And as well, we got the info on the June 1st outage, what it entails to the spoofers, and what it just entails in general as to what happened to Pokemon. And a few more things on what to look out for in June coming up here. So let's get started. So last video we had a few accounts that seemed to be hit from the activity during Community Day. And the 010 account was still alive since then. So unfortunately, 010 has been hit. That was hit today. And I had to, since direct download's been down for a while, you've probably noticed that message up there. It means you can't use direct download right now. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to play in that account for a little bit. So I downloaded the original app on my phone today, Pokémon GO, just to check the account. And unfortunately, it has a 7-day ban starting today. So that's really sad news. That account lasted quite a while and was the direct download one, as you can see there. So I don't know if that was the Community Day activity. It did grab some Shundos, but then didn't do much after that. But it still did play, so I don't know about that. So more into that once I deal with the other accounts. 014, that account was created on Community Day, but didn't participate, didn't catch any C-dots. And unfortunately, that one was hit as well on June 1st. So that's the two accounts that I had last video. Both have been hit. So that's not good news. Obviously, you didn't want to hear that, but that's what it is right now. So 014 was hit June 1st. When the June 1st outage came, you were actually able to play before 6 o'clock. But I waited till just after 6 to create 015, a brand new account, to see if you'd get instant banned or anything like that. So that account was created right after the outage, about an hour after, so 7 p.m. Pacific time. And that account is still good, but that one was probably level 13, and I was like, okay, it seems to be good to me. There wasn't even an update during the June 1st outage. I expected at least an update, but there wasn't even a game update, so I'm not really too sure how much they really did during that outage, or whether it's just something they needed no one to be on the game to do, server-wise, and it really didn't have too much game effect. So I went back to 014 and started Shundo hunting again, but unfortunately a few hours after that, while I was making some spaghetti, I noticed that some certain Pokemon were not showing up. I kept sniping the hundos, and I was pretty on top of the ball there. Like, if you're on top of the list, it's kind of a red flag, you could say, that maybe you're shadow banned, meaning you can't see rare Pokemon, which happens when you get the first red warning. So after a few Pokemon weren't there, I force closed the game, and then when you reopen it, you'll notice you'll have a ban if you were shadow banned, and sure enough, that account had it a ban too. So that account was created on the 24th of May, lasted about 8 days, and it was hit. So I don't know if that had anything to do with being created on Community Day, whether it had anything to do with the June 1st outage or not. Maybe it had nothing to do with either, but that's just the facts right now on those accounts. And 015 is still good. So unfortunately right now, the only account I have that's still good is 015. As far as my friend goes, as I mentioned, he had an account that didn't participate a lot in Community Day, other than catching the Shundo fam, and one account that just played a lot during Community Day. The account that played a lot, like 013, also got hit. The one that just got the Shundos was created a day after 010, and unfortunately that one was hit yesterday. So both of those long-standing accounts, both have been hit. Both of them caught Shundos during Community Day. So I'm not too sure whether that had anything to do tied to Community Day or not, but both of them did participate and catch Shundos. They just didn't participate a lot. So since I mentioned that you could play earlier than 6, I don't know if the actual app, Pokemon GO, would let you play earlier than 6, but at least iSpoofer you were allowed to play. So my friend noticed that. That's how I got told. He texted me. So he signed out right away in his account that unfortunately did end up getting hit. So he was afraid of that. But I want to mention 010 did not do that. It was signed out and was not even open in the background during the outage. So that for sure had nothing to do with being signed in during the outage. So that kind of scratches that. So I can't tell you for sure whether that June 1st outage caused bans or not. That's still up in the air. Obviously, I created the 015 account like I mentioned right after, and we'll see if that one keeps going. I'm going to try to get that one to level 30. Another account trying to get to level 30 the way it is. So we're playing the Unova event right now, which isn't very exciting, honestly. There's no new shiny, and it's not a lot of possible shinies out there, but the new Galarians are pretty cool. So, as I mentioned before, appreciate all the love and support from everyone out there, and as well as the comments below. So, all the other people doing research and data, it helps as well. I can only do so much on my own, so it helps when other people could make accounts and try things as well. So, if in the comments, I would like if people could speak up on the accounts that they had during Community Day CDOT. Either ones that played Community Day, are you still alive? That would be really telling if you have accounts that spoof during Community Day and are still alive. Please let me know in the comments below. As well, if you didn't participate in Community Day, but had an account that was created before Community Day, if that one's still alive, please let me know. And basically, anyone who has an account that's lasted over 30 days without a strike, comment below your situation and as many details as you can to give other people as well as myself information on what may have caused it. All of that is much appreciated, and it helps everyone kind of figure out what's going on. As a community kind of can figure things out better than just one person can. Now I should mention that I use IPA Store, like I say in my other videos, to download iSpoofer for me on this device. You can watch my review, how to download on that to kind of see what it's all about, whether it's safe and things like that. But personally, I'm still using it. It's got more than iSpoofer. There's lots of other apps you could take advantage of. It's only about 50 bucks Canadian for the year, and then just half that to renew it for the next year if you like it. So you can look into that. Like I said, the video if you want to look more into it, but I still enjoy it. And the biggest thing is you avoid all the down periods of the direct download. As you may notice, if that's your method of downloading, it's red right now and has been down for quite a while in the last few days, so it sucks for that. And you may want to look in the IPA Store, but unfortunately with the bans right now, that may deter people from doing that, so we'll stick with it here. 015, I'll keep going here, get to level 30 hopefully, and keep going. Once direct download can start up again, I'll start another account on that too. As far as iTools go, I should mention I looked a little more into that too. People who use iTools still seem to be safe. It seems to cost around $100 to purchase one of these, and it allows you to spoof anywhere as long as your iOS device is still iOS 12. It's kind of hard to have a device that's iOS 12 if you're already iOS 13, so keep that in mind. But if you have iOS 12 device, you can spoof anywhere and use the original Pokemon app and just spoof your whole location of your device instead of having a third-party app disguising itself as Pokemon GO, spoofing your location for you in the game. But if you have iOS 13, you could still use this, but you can only spoof your location within 15 kilometers of your current location. So iOS 12, you could go anywhere. iOS 13, only 15-kilometer radius from where you currently are. So unfortunately, this is the only one I have that's iOS 12. And that's my IPA Store device one. So unfortunately right now I don't have a lot of extra funds. I don't get a big inflow from this yet anyways. So I don't have spare cash to go and buy that right now to try it. But I hopefully would like to try it in the future, but I'm still relaying you the information. iTools people still seem to be safe. It costs around $100. iOS 12, you could pretty much go anywhere, and you could spoof longer than these accounts are lasting without a strike. So just keep that in mind. That's one option. And now I'm just going to let you know the if you do have to create a new account like me, there's some things to look out for coming up in June here. We got 2 events coming up, 5-day events, which are the Solstice event and the Bug Out event. More info will be coming out on that later. As well, there will be the raid hour that was just announced today, or not the raid hour, the raid weekend, Latios and Latias, for 3 days from June 12th to 15th. You'll be able to catch Latias and Latios in 5-star raids, as well as be able to get their shinies, so they're pretty cool, so good luck getting those. And one more thing at least to look out for in June is during the Pokemon Spotlight Hour on June 23rd will be Clefairy, and you'll actually be able to catch it shiny in the wild. So that'll be the first time you can catch a shiny Clefairy in the wild, which is pretty cool. Before, you had to hatch a shiny Cleffa and evolve it to get this shiny. So hopefully no one evolved their shiny Cleffas, Igglybuff, Bonsleys, and things like that, because it seems all those evolved Pokemon will eventually be able to be found in the wild, which makes sense because that's kind of how it should be. In my opinion anyways, I'm sure lots of people agree with me on that one. Sorry to all the people who did evolve those babies. I'm one of those people as well. Igglybuff, Cleffa at least, I evolved one of those each. Is what it is. In the end, it's good news you can find these shiny in the wild. So the 2 events coming out, the shiny Clefairy and the Latias Latios, are things to look out for shiny wise in June. And also, as I mentioned before, that Reshiram flying around here, it's a strong Pokemon. I advise catching those if you can. And this one I actually find a 96 IV one, so finally a good one. So hopefully you can find a good one of those guys, as well as those shinies coming up. So unfortunately there wasn't a lot of good news with my accounts, but I'll keep you updated like I always do. Next Friday I'll hit you up on part 13 with all the information I gathered since this video on the comments and things I've done during my playtime. So have fun everyone out there. I hope everyone's doing good and safe in the world, and I hope to see you all in my next videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you, Mr. Peach.